Opening scene. The living pulse of Uruk. The city of Uruk thrums with life, its soundscape a living testament to Mesopotamian vigor and complexity. At dawn, the chants of temple priests rise in the smoky air, a chorus of supplication and gratitude to the city's gods. Along the avenues, the rhythmic clanging of craftsmen's hammers forges new tools and weapons, echoing off sun-baked walls. Livestock shuffle and bellow in the bustling markets, their bleats mingling with the sharp calls of traders. Tactile sensations anchor the morning. The heat of the sun radiates from the ancient bricks, warming bare feet and the hard-packed earth. Uruk's lanes are thick with the press of bodies, the roughness of woven reed mats underfoot, the coolness of shaded courtyards. Gilgamesh, king and hero, strides through the city, the weight of bronze armor and the dust of his journeys lingering on his skin. Smells define the city's mood. At the ziggurat, incense swirls, curling like prayers toward the sky. In the alleys, the sweat of laborers and the earthy tang of livestock intermingle with the comforting aroma of freshly baked bread. The dust, ever present, clings to every surface, a reminder of creation's fragility. 2. The fabric of Mesopotamian life. Uruk is a city of occupation and industry. Weavers work in shaded workshops, the soft percussion of their looms weaving vibrant cloth for local use and distant trade. Brewers, often women, tend their bubbling vats, the yeasty aroma of fermenting barley drifting through the streets. Potters shape clay into sturdy jars, hands slick and steady, while farmers lead laden donkeys through the city gates, their backs bent from the harvest. Laws and contracts are the sinews of this world. Agreements, marriages, sales, and debts are pressed into cuneiform on clay tablets, baked hard in the sun and stored in temple archives. These records outlast generations, the script's wedge-shaped marks a testament to memory and authority. Women, too, are pillars of family and faith. They officiate at altars, oversee brewing and weaving houses, and serve as priestesses and healers. Family life is anchored by their wisdom and resilience. The city's prosperity owes much to their labor and leadership. Uruk's monumental works, the Anu ziggurat towering above the city, the vast circuit of walls, speak to a time of expansion and ambition. Trade routes reach distant Anatolia and the Persian Gulf, filling the markets with exotic goods. Uruk is the New York of its age, a metropolis where ambitions collide and new ideas are born. If Gilgamesh strolled through Times Square today, he would know the crush of crowds, the glitter of monuments, the ceaseless hustle, the eternal drive to make a mark on the world. 3. The walls of Uruk, metaphor and meaning. The walls of Uruk stand as both shield and symbol. They offer safety, protection from wild beasts and marauders, but also isolation, separating city from wilderness, order from chaos. Their permanence is an illusion, dust gathers in their cracks, and time promises eventual ruin. For Gilgamesh, these walls are a legacy, but also a prison, echoing the paradox of human striving. As king, Gilgamesh is a mediator between gods and people. He offers sacrifices, oversees justice, and leads in war and ritual. Yet even he cannot command the fates, nor shield his heart from loss. 4. Enkidu's illness, the beginning of the end. After the triumph over Humbaba and the Bull of Heaven, the city's joy turns to dread. Enkidu, once wild and mighty, is struck by a mysterious illness, the god's punishment for the hero's defiance. The soundscape of Uruk changes. The once jubilant chants soften to mournful prayers. The hammering of craftsmen falls silent in deference to suffering. Inside Enkidu's chamber, the air is thick with incense, burnt to appease the gods. The smell of sweat, now sour with fever, permeates the room, mingling with the dust that settles on the mats. The weight of sorrow presses upon Gilgamesh, heavier than any bronze. Enkidu's skin, once tough as leather, is now sensitive and clammy. He shivers under rough linen as the heat of fever burns within. His mighty hands, which once gripped axes and spears, now tremble as he reaches for his friend. V. The tragedy of Enkidu's death. The illness is relentless. Enkidu's dreams are haunted by visions of the underworld, the house where those who enter do not return. He cries out, cursing his fate, the gods, and even the temple priestess who first led him from the wild. Gilgamesh, helpless, watches the light fade from his friend's eyes. On the day of Enkidu's death, the city is hushed. Priests chant laments. The smell of morning incense drifts from every doorway. Gilgamesh cradles Enkidu, feeling the coldness creep into once vital limbs. Dust settles in the still air, as if the world itself holds its breath. When at last Enkidu is gone, a wail rises from the palace and spreads through Uruk like wildfire. The people mourn not only a hero, but the hope he embodied, echoes Gilgamesh's grief, the awakening to mortality. Gilgamesh's grief is boundless. His cries echo through the city, shattering the solemn silence. He roams Uruk's avenues, the weight of bronze replaced by the heavier burden of loss. The sun's heat, once invigorating, now feels oppressive. The smell of bread, incense, and earth becomes bitter, reminders of life's small comforts, now hollow. He laments, "Shall I not die too? Am I not like Enkidu? Sorrow has entered my heart. I am afraid of death. I will wander the wild, seeking the secret of life." The walls of Uruk, once a source of pride, now mock him. They stand but cannot protect against the frailty of flesh and the certainty of death. 7. Themes: grief, human frailty, and the shadow of death. Enkidu's death is the catalyst for Gilgamesh's transformation. The epic pivots from heroic deeds to existential reckoning. The theme of grief is palpable in every sense: the city's hush, the tactile numbness of loss, the smells of ash and sweat and sorrow. Human fragility is revealed, not only in Enkidu's fall, but in Gilgamesh's tears. Where once Gilgamesh defied the gods, he now awakens to death. The reality that even kings must die shatters his illusions of immortality. The journey ahead will not be for glory, but for understanding. E-8. Daily life continues, the enduring pulse of Uruk. In the shadow of tragedy, life in Uruk endures. Weavers return to their looms, brewers to their vats, potters to their wheels, farmers to their fields. Cuneiform scribes inscribe new contracts, some recording deaths, others new beginnings. Women light lamps in the temples, praying for healing and peace. The city's trade routes remain open, its monumental work standing as reminders of human ambition and its limits. The Anu ziggurat still gleams in the sun, but to Gilgamesh it is now a monument not only to what humans build, but what they lose. If Gilgamesh wandered New York's streets today, he would recognize the bustle, the striving, the ceaseless renewal, and the undercurrent of loss that shapes every human endeavor. 9. Symbolism and legacy. The walls of Uruk are now a deeper metaphor. They embody the tension between protection and isolation, permanence and fragility. In striving to keep death at bay, humans build, but all that is built will one day fall. Kings mediate between gods and mortals, but cannot alter fate's decree. Enkidu's passing is not just a personal loss, it is the loss of innocence, of wildness, of the belief in unending strength. It is a reminder that all must face the wilderness of the unknown. X. Foreshadowing: the next journey. As Gilgamesh prepares to leave Uruk, the wilderness calls once more, not for conquest, but for understanding. The city's soundscape reasserts itself: temple chants, craftsmen's hammers, the cries of livestock. Tactile and olfactory memories, the sun's heat, the weight of bronze, the smell of bread and dust, are now tied to grief and the urgent need for answers. In the distance, the walls of Uruk shimmer in the heat, caught between the promise of eternity and the certainty of ruin. Gilgamesh steps beyond them, carrying the memory of Enkidu and the question that haunts all humankind: is there life beyond death?